This is the calm segment of the program, ladies and gentlemen, where I encourage you to go to our website, www.voiceofquietresistance. Oh yeah, it's just Voice of Resistance. The elections are coming up quickly, and many of us are grieving for our country. We want our country to be turned around. And I want to say to you that you can hold a part, a critical part, in restoring this country. And part of that is to do the job that some of our pastors and priests and clerics should be doing but refuse to do. Remember, the judgment of God started with the elders who were in the temple of God, okay? And I believe that our spiritual leaders are going to give a dreadful accounting for having let this nation collapse into the jaws of hell while they played spiritual tiddlywinks or hid in their safe Christian ghettos. Anyway, I digress. The biggest thing that you could probably do is speak up. Speak up in your church. Whether you've got a testimony time or whether you do it after church, whether you write a little brochure explaining to people how they can sin with their vote and that they need not sin with their vote. If you send a little hashtag out, a little text to all your friends in your little database and say, if you vote for somebody who supports the murder of babies, and then if you know someone in your area, put their name in, say to them, you have sinned against God. I mean, give them an illustration. Say to them, look, if you know that a guy owns a brothel, or he runs a Planned Parenthood that helps pimps and child molesters and people in the sex trade cover up the crimes against 14, 15, 16-year-old boys and girls. If you run a brothel or you run a Planned Parenthood, you're in sin. You're in a criminal act against God and man. And therefore, we're not going to vote for you. Just use an illustration like that. And then people say, well, yeah, but I like his economic policies. And I agree with him on the Second Amendment. And I agree with him on his plan to help our education and on his trade policy and his support for unions. That's particularly important to me. Okay, so you're going to put your own pocketbook and your own economic interests and your loyalty to the party, whatever that party is, ahead of the lives of innocent babies who are being butchered and 15-year-old girls who are being sold into sexual slavery. That's the kind of ethics you have? That's the ethics you are showing with your vote? Go ahead. Shake yourself and then shake other people up for the sake of truth and for God.